Hey, this is probably as close as I'm going to really get to doing a rant. Kentucky Republican Congressman Geoff Davis at an official Republican Party event over the weekend said this about Barack Obama. "I'm gonna tell you something. That boy's finger does not need to be on the button." That boy's finger. This is a sitting member of Congress and a colleague of Obama's elected to represent something like 1 million people at an official event calling Barack Obama boy. Now, a note to anyone who is very young, just learning English, or in severe denial, a white man calling a black man boy is one of the most commonly used, overtly racial slurs in American English. It cannot be compared to calling a white man boy in jest. It has been a verbal weapon for generations. It is in all likelihood the reason so many black men refer to actual boys as little man. If any grown man, especially in Kentucky, were to accidentally say this with non-racial intent, alarm bells would go off in his head and he would immediately correct himself. But this was no accident. This was an official Republican Party event. This wasn't an interview, it was a speech. That boy's finger. Now, Republicans are making a wager this year. Not all of you guys, but enough. Enough Republicans are making a wager that America is still a fundamentally racist country. Enough Republicans, a minority, but enough, are dragging the party down with the ugliest wedge issue of all. And it is more than U.S. Congressman Geoff Davis, more than all the people who love to say Hussein Osama, a guy who was introducing John McCain in Washington, D.C. just a few days ago, told the audience, "You can keep your Tiger Woods." And then McCain comes up, he gives the guy a big hug, and he launches into his speech with no recognition of what was just said right in front of him. There is a word for people who do the things that are too dirty for you to do personally, and that word is henchmen. Now stop. Chris Matthews said, "Wait, comparing Obama to Tiger is a compliment." And I don't know how to respond because I don't know if you're choosing to misunderstand or if you actually misunderstand. Barack and Tiger only have race in common. No, they don't. Yes, they do. Because if one was white, you would never associate them. You don't associate Barack Obama with Jack Nicklaus. So by insulting them both, you do that through the only thing that they have in common. So you can keep all those fancy boys. You can keep your Sammy Davis and your Sidney Poitier and your Tiger Woods and your Barack Obama. Now back to this wager on America being a fundamentally racist country. I will take that bet. If you think we're racist, I will take that bet in a heartbeat. And you know why? Here's how I know that my country is ready to move forward. In 2006, Virginia's incumbent senator, George Allen, was running for re-election. He was pulling away, and on track not only to keep his seat in the Senate, but he was one of the top prospects to run for president in 2008. Do you remember this? George Allen was a Republican success story, and then what happened? Remember? He was at a campaign rally, and he turned to an Indian guy, a college kid, and he called him macaca. What's macaca? It's a racial slur, not in the US, but in French North Africa. The voters of Virginia then learned all of the following things from scratch. George Allen called a kid macaca. Macaca is a slur in Tunisia. George Allen's mother is from there. Thus, he knew he was saying a racial slur. Everybody in Virginia learned that together. And this southern state, below the Mason-Dixon line, they said, "We don't want that kind of a person representing us." And they voted for the Democrat, Jim Webb. The man who would be president lost the Senate over the most obscure racial epithet you can imagine. So keep it up, guys, with your boy and your Tiger Woods. Get your practice, because the more you say it, the more you can be sure that you're going to have at least 4 years of boys and Tiger Woods and Hussein Osamas ahead of you. And to the majority of Republicans, let me calm down for this, to the majority of Republicans who are offended by racism, the thing that has already bitten you in the ass in Virginia and will continue to is the quiet acceptance of racism in your party, on your turf. You can change that. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.